Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is TheBrokenMachine. Today's video I'm going to be discussing a little bit about the gameplay. It is a 13-0 flawless round of rush attack on Goldmud Railway. I go on a 23 gun streak and I do die, but I get revived and manage to finish the game with 30 kills and 0 deaths. So technically, according to the stats, it is flawless, but I do die and get revived at one point in the game. This was on my own server, which is has currently expired. I will be renewing it on PS3 for a week on the release of Dragon's Teeth. It starts off empty, but on the second MCOM it all fills in, so it's all good there. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. If you've been watching this channel, the kind of commentaries that I prefer to do are sort of breakdown commentaries, strategy kind of commentaries, discussing, you know, where I'm going, my thought processes and all that kind of thing. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I've just never got around to do it. So what I'm going to be uploading soon, maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks, I just need to get some kind of scripts going and, you know, just sort out the finer details and get it in some kind of order. But basically it's going to be a basic core skills guide, beginner's guide, guide to going beast mode, sort of mixture of things. Basically I'm going to start off with basics and then I'm going to move on to the more advanced kind of stuff. So the basics is going to be like spawn knowledge. I'm going to go into that quite heavily on the various game modes. I'm going to discuss the basics of it, and then I'm going to move on how to use that to your advantage. So for each kind of game mode there is obviously different spawn systems. I'm going to go into detail on how those work and how to use those to your advantage, particularly in opening a round. So if you, at the start of the round, regardless of what game mode you're playing, the route that you take in regards to where the enemies spawn can be really important and can have a huge effect on who gets a real nice push at the beginning of the round. And the advanced sort of section of that kind of guide is going to be on like flanking, getting around the enemy and how to use that to your advantage. And right there I'm going to discuss a little bit about timing. I haven't really seen many videos of this, but timing can be a huge factor in how well you're doing on a map. So for example, say you're trying to lock down one area and there's a corridor, maybe the corridor on Metro. If you know the timing of how long it takes to run down that corridor, you'll be able to control the area a lot better. So you could, for example, you could look, say, straight down the middle of the map and then go to the corridor, see there's no enemies, and then you have a certain time window where you can freely move around the map before you have to look in that direction again. So that might sound a little confusing right there, but I'll explain what that means in a following video in much more detail. I'm going to be discussing, you know, not just map knowledge in terms of spawns, but the kind of traffic flow and where players tend to go, the key spots on a map. So for example, choke points, how to get through them a lot easier. What else? On some maps, a great example is on Zavod. On Rush, on the final MCOM, one of the MCOMs is up in the tower, and it is a very strong MCOM. It's very hard to take and very easy to defend, so I'm going to be discussing why you should be going for those kind of MCOMs and objectives or flags as quickly as you can, and before you try and go to the other flags or MCOMs, as it is in the case of Rush. So I'm going to be discussing strong points, power positions. I'm going to be discussing them. If you don't know, a power position is basically a position of the map, like the tower on Zavod, that if you hold that, you'll have a much easier time, your team will have a much easier time, so I'm going to discuss them. That's pretty basic, but a power position can be anything really that really has a huge effect on how well you can hold an area or win a game. Yes, I'll be going into that. I'm trying to, I should have had a list for all this, so yeah, basic spawn knowledge, advanced spawn knowledge, understanding traffic routes, traffic flow, flanking routes. I'm going to be talking about sensitivity. I'm going to be giving my opinions on why a higher sensitivity is better overall. But I'm not against low sensitivity. Low sensitivities perfectly fine. You can do perfectly well. You can do just as well or even better than high sensitivity players. I just want to give my opinions on why higher sensitivity kind of benefits you in the long run. Particularly if you're playing on your own like I do, definitely really helps you out in those very tough situations. I'm going to be discussing how to aim better, how to follow your targets better, predicting target movements. That's a huge one. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are aiming, if you're not good at predicting how players move, which direction they're going to move in, you know, you're going to have a much harder time trying to keep on target on your enemies. So I want to discuss a little bit about that. I'm obviously going to go into gun control, recoil control, dealing with the suppression mechanic that is in this game, and dealing with the suppression technique that people are using in this game. Now that might sound confusing. The suppression mechanic is the way people shooting at you, and you know you get suppressed, and you have the effects of the suppression mechanic in the game. So the optics sway, the screen blur, and all that stuff. But the suppression technique is just players, you know, trying to fire on you to keep your head down. I'll be trying to show you how to combat that and try to outgun and outplay players. A great section I want to do is on outplaying players. I think that's a real skill a lot of people really don't have. So I'm going to be talking about you know, the basics of how to outplay players, and I'm going to be showing you quite a few situations where I managed to outplay some players, and I'm going to be discussing them, breaking them down, and you know, just going over them, and just showing you, you know, how to, you know, think a little bit more, and you know, just think about what's going on, and just think, you know, what is my enemy going to do, and how can I outplay them? I mean, that right there is the basics of being a good player. You need to be trying to figure out, you know, how can my enemy play, and how can I outplay them? What can I do to get the up on these guys? So I'm going to be going into that quite a lot. What else? I want to discuss how to move from cover to cover properly. There's a lot of cover in Battlefield. A lot of people don't notice this, but cover doesn't necessarily have to mean, you know, just sitting behind a block and then poking your head out and then going back down, poking your head out and shooting, all that stuff. You know, cover is trees, walls, rocks, everything, all over the place. Right there on the screen, I see my teammate, ditch the tank. You know, that's a real bad habit to do. So at some point I'm going to be discussing good habits and bad habits. One notable bad habit a lot of people have is they run anywhere and everywhere. I'm going to be discussing that quite a lot. You know, running is one of, if not the worst things to do, and a real bad habit to have in an FPS game. So I'm going to be talking about that quite a bit. And too many in this video. Yes, vehicle warfare. I'm gonna talk a little bit about vehicle warfare, basics. There's definitely a lot better players out there in vehicles. If you know from my gameplay, I rarely go in the vehicles. I prefer infantry-based combat. So I'm going to be talking about how to play a little bit better in vehicles, the basics of doing well, how to use cover in vehicles, of course, and how to play well if you're on your own like I am in this clip here without anyone repairing. Talking of power positions, right here is one that you can see. So on this set of MCOMs, if you push to the right here, you'll be able to control this Bravo objective quite well. So that's definitely something to think about. That is a power position right there. You can see straight down that road there, and the enemies spawn up at these set of housing up here to the right, and you have a great look on the MCOM. So this right here is definitely a power position. You do have to be wary of the players to the right, and anyone dropping in, of course. But if you stay in third person, you'll be able to see them. If you have any teammates on you, that would really help. Talking of teammates, I want to talk a little bit about how to play in a team better, and how to play as a team without a team also. What that basically means is how to move around the map, and how to be more aware of where your teammates are, so you can try and think about what's going to happen next. So for example, you know, my teammates are pushing in here, going into the MCOM. I'm thinking about where they are, and I'm thinking, you know, they've got the middle path covered, I need to cover the right. I'm going to hold this power position right here and, you know, really help those guys out right there. You know, if you like me, I play on my own a lot, so I have to deal with terrible teammates, but there is certain ways, certain methods, tactics, strategy and so on that can really help you and your team out, and stop you being less frustrated. Talking about being frustrated, I want to talk a little bit about sort of the psychology aspects of the game, trying to, like, you know, talking of outplaying players, but also talking about how to play better yourself. So stuff like, you know, keeping calm, not being angry. I'm a really bad example of this, but I do rage pretty bad, but I try and just let it go, you know, not let it affect me. You know, in the past, you know, I've raged bad and it's really affected my gameplay. I don't know if it's the case for other people, but when I get angry that I'm not doing well, not playing well, my muscles tend to stiffen up, and then my aiming, of course, goes off. I can't control recoil as well, so I want to talk a little bit about that. I don't want to talk too much about that, because, you know, you don't really want to get too much into the armchair psychology kind of thing. I just want to talk about, you know, my experiences and stuff like that. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a video game, so it's not really worth getting too involved. It's just a video game. It's not a competitive environment or anything like that. A real competitive environment, I mean. Excuse me, my voice is going there. So, this video is coming to the end now. This is final MCOM. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you guys stick around for the commentaries that are coming up. I won't be doing any more commentaries this week. E3 is going on yesterday. I'd like to talk a little bit about that, but I don't think I'll have time to upload any videos. Yes, the Straw Montage number 5 comes out on Thursday. Commentaries and guides and all that stuff will be coming soon. I'm just a little busy this week, so I can't really start on that, but they'll be coming along very shortly. So that was a 13-0 gameplay, 23 gun streak at the beginning. Pretty nice round. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. You know, drop me a like if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Catch you later.